It's about 6 p.m. on a Thursday. I'm near Buffalo, New York. I'm probably a few miles from, maybe a few dozen miles from the Niagara Falls. I'm just got another 30 miles or so to go tomorrow morning to my first delivery. I've got actually two separate delivery points for what I've got on my trailer. It's two AC units, and they're going to separate places. Not too far away. I think the other one's maybe 100 miles or so away. So not too bad. We'll see how that goes. I'm not sure if I'll have time to get a load picked up tomorrow. If I do, it will be probably stressful, more than usual. We'll see. I am a little tired today. Well, it's the end of the day, but I woke up a little bit earlier than I was expecting to, and I've been listening to some podcasts along the way. But I wanted to try to remember some of the stories that have happened recently, to try to record them before they slip off into I guess just into the past. I don't remember very well. Sometimes it seems like it doesn't take very long before stuff that's happened gets to the point where I don't remember it very well. It all blends together, and I don't know. Anyways, hopefully, I would typically like to make a video when I'm more fresh. My mind would be better, and I think I'd be better at talking. But I'm concerned. I don't think I'm going to want to film tomorrow morning. And I've been putting this off for a while. But partly because I was kind of a mess. I've been having some trouble not getting exactly the amount of sleep that I would be optimal. I've been neglecting some of my health routines, or I ate too much sugar. I could tell that was making me feel bad. I just need to get my health in better order, and I was having trouble. Well, it'd been a few days since I had a shower, so not too bad. It's nothing that I could have done more if I was a more highly motivated person, but I get by the any way that works, I guess. So I want to go talk about the load outside, but it might be hard to hear. We'll see how it does, because I've got this there's a reefer truck sitting beside me, so I might try to go on the other side. We'll see if that works, but see how this goes. So I'm all the way as far away as I can get from the reefer unit. It's part of its how they keep things cold or hot or whatever. Probably cold, but inside the reefer unit has a noisy machine, keeps the heat exchange going, I guess. But anyways, this is my load. I've repositioned these chains. I had to stop and call safety at some point because this was starting to pull out, and so I repositioned these chains. Originally, these chains were pulling more straight out towards the edge of the trailer, and I repositioned them so that they pulled as far at an angle as I could, so that the force would be pulled this way, more this way on these points. I mean, they look. These are really like just basically like a couple of ply of sheet metal, and I thought these like metal screws would be going to something that was running along inside, and I don't think that's true. I think these might be for installation or maybe just for show. I don't know, but I thought there would be like an I-beam or something in there to keep it stiff, but I don't think that's true. So anyways, these were pulling apart, and I had to readjust that. And then this thing here, I've got these straps and a little bit of a weird configuration because this is kind of a similar thing. I repositioned these chains. I pulled more. They originally were like more out like here, and I think this rear one was pulling out here. So I make the pull go inside in both directions, and then because this thing has started to slip. This thing has started to work its way towards the edge of the rail. You can see it slid a little bit, but not too far. It was getting too close, and so I had called safety, and that was one frustrating thing. It took them like 4 hours to get back to me, so that was very unproductive for a while. And then basically they ended up just having me fix it myself, which I mean I could have started working on. They had told me to just hang tight, and they would get back to me I kept calling them every so often, kept getting like, oh, hang tight, I don't know, maybe we'll have to get somebody out to you or something. And then eventually they were like, well, can you get your pry bar or your load bar, can you get it up under the corner and pry it up back onto the trailer? And I tried that, and it didn't really, well, I could lift the unit with the pry bar. It's not very heavy, but then I didn't have any way to like push it to the side while I was doing that. So what I ended up doing was dismantling this so I had room to work, and then I attached a binder. There's a point under, you can't really see it because of the strap, but there's a securement point over there that I used on basically the lip of the trailer with a chain, and I used a binder to pull it over. So basically just closing the binder applies a lot of force, and that was enough to scoot the unit back over. And then after I chained it back down, then I put these straps on to hopefully help it maintain the same position, and it seemed to have worked. And then I've had to, they included some this tape. It's part of the packaging. Oh, actually, there's another one. I didn't. There's another one on the. I got the one from the other one and used that, but there's another package of it here. But had to patch a couple of holes, um, or a little. I was trying to catch them, but when they were small before they became big, so that seemed to have worked. Let's see. I'm gonna go back inside. Let's see. So, anyways, I'm back inside the cab. See if I can remember some of the stories of my last few loads. I don't. I sometimes have trouble going in chronological orders, but I'm gonna try. Going back to. I'm remembering picking up rolled roofing in Georgia. I forget what I brought to Georgia. But I picked up rolled roofing. That was my first time. I think it's a fairly common load. I have one of my friends has picked it up a couple of times, but it was my first time picking up rolled roofing out of Georgia. It's like south of Atlanta, and it was one of those that needed. It needed the what we call V boards, just basically some boards that help distribute the force of the straps so that it doesn't mess up the roofing rolls too bad, and so it can secure them with a reasonable amount of straps. And they had like a station for making the V boards, which is nice. The other place that had, I've been to two other places that wanted V boards and they didn't have a setup like that, so that was nice. They had a little some 1x material, some strap, and some nails, so you could make your V boards. But the scissors they had there were, or I guess they're shears or whatever, they were pretty awful. So I was able to use I have a pair of shears that was needed to use, and I was able to let another Melton driver use his tools to make his, and then he ended up helping me a little bit with my tarping job. He had been driving, I think he said around, I think it's 2 or 3 years, and he was a lot faster than me at getting I'm still pretty slow with putting bungees on. But I'm getting better. Actually, in the next load I did, I actually got a little bit more training from another mountain driver that helped me learn a little bit more how to go faster. But that rolled roofing went to Air Force Base in Ohio. I forget what city it was outside of. It was an Air Force Base, and getting onto the Air Force Base to deliver the rolled roofing was awful. It took like 2 hours. A lot of that was sitting in line. They would take like a whole chunk of trucks at a time out on this particular gate that the commercial vehicles were supposed to go in. And then the whole process took like 2 hours to get through. Even though I was like reasonably early in the morning. Then finding the construction site where these things were going, I didn't actually know for sure that it was going to a construction site. It was basically delivering. So it said on the paperwork, delivering to the commissary. And where my navigation tools both were telling me to go like beside the like outdoor kind of area. So it wasn't really, they weren't really pointing at the correct address for where the parking lot was where we were delivering. And driving around the base was it was a bunch of super tight turns and roads. It was not good. Not good for a truck. And before I went to the right gate, I went to the wrong gate. Well, I mean, there was nothing on our paperwork that told us anything about this. And there were 2 other Melton drivers there, and both of them went to the wrong gate too. So it wasn't just me. But went to the wrong gate first, and what was funny about it, it was like literally right next to the commissary where I'm delivering, but of course I can't actually go and just deliver it. They sent me way around to this other gate that was all clogged up, and then had to crawl around and on these weird tiny roads inside the base to get back to what should have been basically 2 turns. And then because I couldn't trust my navigation systems and I didn't know where, my paperwork wasn't good enough to tell me where I was supposed to go. I ended up parking in front of the commissary and just walking around a lot before I found it was the construction site was on the back side of the commissary. And it was down this tiny little road. And then they were trying to unload a bunch of trucks, and they only had like 2 forklifts. And by the time it was my turn, then they had started unloading. They prioritized other trucks before me, and then as they were unloading me, they would take a pallet of this rolled roofing, and they would so they had these. It was just the 2 forklifts, and only one would work on me. One was working on another truck, and it would take one pallet of the rolled roofing and lift it up to the roof, and just wait there while some people unloaded the pallet by hand, piece by piece, stacked it on the roof, so that the forklift it was kind of like one of the extendable, like really extended forklift. But it was just stuck there, sitting there while they unloaded it. And then, so it took forever for every single pallet, and I had a bunch of pallets. And they didn't actually get through all of them before before it was 5 o'clock, and apparently it was time for all of them to go home. There was still like 3 pallets of rolled roofing on my trailer, and then finally they decided they could take the rolled roofing and just stack it down on the ground, which is what they should have done a long time ago. But so I got stuck there forever, and I was supposed to get detention pay for it, but I did all the instructions that I knew of, but apparently I did the paperwork wrong. I didn't get a timestamp correctly. So it's one of those frustrating things where there's like a bunch of different rules and a bunch of different hoops, and basically the paperwork people run things. And the time before I did put in for detention, I didn't need it. And I've seen notes in some of the paperwork that says if you're going to do detention, you need some, timestamps or whatever. But this one didn't have it. So I followed the instructions as far as I knew, and apparently that's not good enough. So it's not a huge deal, but it's just one more thing, just trying to do it the right way and still not good enough. So it's a little frustrating. But then let's see. From there, I went to, where did I go? I went and picked up stainless steel, I guess. I didn't really look at it, but the company's name was North American Stainless, so it was probably stainless steel out of Kentucky, right along the Ohio River. I think it was like Ghent or something was the town. But kind of an interesting place. Along that river, it had like this really small town feel, but then there was this really heavy industry right along the river. Several factories and stuff was there, and it's the kind of places that have night shifts and run round the clock and stuff. But at the same time, it was this really heavy industry, but it didn't seem like super oppressive on the land. As like there's some places that it just like looks torn up and blasted out, kind of thing, where you can really tell it's hurting the land, and it didn't seem that bad there. I can't say anything about whether or not they're poisoning or toxins or anything like that, but it seemed like a better situation than other heavy industry places I've seen. And I got there late. Ended up, well, I wanted to just hook to the trailer because it was kind of a they already had a preloaded trailer that I just needed to put securement and tarps on. And I wanted to, because it was so late, I wanted to just hook up and then do the securement in the morning. But there was a guy there that working on the lot that if I could get my trailer taken care of, he could go home. So he kind of needed to do it, and so I was there. That took around, I don't know, I think it was 11 or 12 before I finally got back in the cab. And so that kind of started, that was part of the reason I think I got off, kind of off my stride a little bit as far as sleep. That was kind of odd. Even though I had gone to sleep fairly late, I still naturally woke up fairly early. And I think I might have done a split day that day. can't remember. But the steel was going towards Laredo. And I don't remember how many days that took. But it was probably 1 or 2. No, so yeah, it was like 2, I think. 2, maybe 2 and a bit, 2.5 or something like that. Anyways, on one of the days was kind of a Texas day. Made it through Dallas, and then I was just coming to Austin, the north side of Austin on 35, when it was starting to get late. And I know Austin gets real clogged up real bad. So I calculated it that if I got up real early the next day, earlier than I've done before, I could make it to Laredo. I was aiming to make it there, but right as their inspection gate opened, because the time before, I really don't like both of our terminals that I've been to. I don't like, they're stressful, and I was trying to avoid some of the stress by getting there early. So I ended up stopping at a truck stop a little bit early, and then I did an alarm at like 1:30 so that I could get on the road at 2, so I could be at Laredo by like, I was aiming for 7, but I ended up being there like half an hour early, I think, because the calculations, I guess, were based on more traffic being there. So I got through both Austin and San Antonio pretty good that late at night, or whatever, early in the morning. And then got into Laredo, and that's where I got kind of bogged down in Laredo. It took me a while to leave, and part of that was when I got this load, I could tell the anchor points were weak for where I'm supposed to put chains, and I'm not supposed to use straps, and I was just looking at it, just being frustrated, and my mind was slow, so it felt like I would do a better job if I was better rested. So I slept and then secured it, which did end up being a good idea. But then that was this load that I have now with the AC units, and it's brought me up to New York. So that's at least some of what has gone on in the last few days. I'm gonna go deliver this tomorrow and then see what the next load is.